What is up, everybody? I am Jacob Roy, helping you build wealth through tech, AI, crypto, and conviction. Before we get started, I would like to mention that none of this is any financial advice. It is only for educational purposes. What you do with this information is completely up to you. Always do your own research before making any financial decisions. Let's begin with the thesis of this video. Our parents and grandparents bought gold. Our generation buys Bitcoin, but only one of these assets is deflationary, and spoiler alert, it's not gold. This leads us into our first point of discussion, the generational shift. The older generations trusted gold. It's physical, and you can use it for other things aside from an exchange of value, such as jewelry, and it has the historical evidence of value over a millennia. The younger generation, my generation, values Bitcoin more because we are used to being digital. We value the convenience of digitalization, how portable it is, and how the decentralized nature of Bitcoin makes it more trustworthy than any other means of exchange. Let's go over the difference between deflation versus inflation. Inflation, in a basic sense, is money printing. Governments borrow from central banks that print money backed by government bonds. This is basically an infinite money glitch backed by nothing. They're creating money out of thin air, which is paid back by the government through your hard-earned tax dollars. So not only are they creating more money, which drives the cost of goods and assets up because there is more money chasing the same supply of goods, but they are also devaluing any amount of cash you hold at the same time for that very reason. You would be correct to question, why does the cost of goods go up when the money supply is increased? Well, when we take a look at the very simple concept of supply and demand, we can see that when you increase demand and supply still remains the same, then that drives prices up. Now, why would this be good for assets like Bitcoin specifically? Bitcoin only having a total supply of 21 million that is pretty much impossible to increase, gives it the structure to benefit immensely from the supply and demand concept. Also crucial to Bitcoin's fundamentals is the fact that every 4 years we have a halving event, which cuts the amount of mineable Bitcoin in half, which decreases the available supply added to the market. Thus, we have more demand, which is printed money, with less supply from the halving. This is why every 4 years we see explosive price action in Bitcoin. This is why Bitcoin is considered deflationary. We have less and less Bitcoin. If you guys want, I can make a dedicated video about how Bitcoin mining and this halving event works in a future video. Please let me know. Let's quickly go back to the fixed supply of 21 million. Bitcoin's supply is forever capped at 21 million. Gold, on the other hand, has an increasing supply of about 1 to 2% annually. So every Bitcoin that is being mined is getting us closer to bringing the 21 million total supply onto the market. This only furthers the scarcity of the asset when people are buying it up. We now have institutions and companies buying up large amounts of the supply of Bitcoin, and they do not plan on selling, such as MicroStrategy. And the fact that we have lost a substantial amount of Bitcoin that can never be gotten back, and the fact that retail investors such as Bitcoin maxis will never sell, only amplifies this. Now let's get into the wild card of Bitcoin, the creator's mystery. The creator of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, has never sold a single coin, and his bag is worth billions. The only caveat to this topic is that, let's say the creator is unveiled to the public, and it is an entity or a person that the public does not see as trustworthy or has a personal issue with, then it will not be good for the market. For stability of the market and the currency itself, it is best if Satoshi Nakamoto remains anonymous and never sells any of his Bitcoin fortune. Before we conclude, let's go over the most bullish case of Bitcoin. Bitcoin as a reserve currency. This is where Bitcoin becomes something bigger than anyone could have predicted in the earliest years of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Bitcoin at this point won't be just another asset you trade or hold. It will fundamentally be a new form of currency, one built on global, not government trust. Every transaction that is verified on a decentralized network of thousands of computers around the world. There's no central bank, no single country pulling the strings, just mathematics and consensus securing every dollar's worth of value. And the key difference? Bitcoin's supply is fixed and completely predictable. You can't print more of it, you can't dilute it. That makes it the first currency in the world that can't be inflated by human decisions. Now imagine this. What happens when countries start settling global trade using Bitcoin instead of US dollars? No political bias, no currency manipulation, just a neutral, borderless medium of exchange the entire world can agree on. We're already seeing the first hints of this. El Salvador making Bitcoin legal tender, companies like MicroStrategy holding billions on their balance sheet, and institutions slowly realizing that Bitcoin might become the next global reserve asset. It's not about replacing the dollar overnight. It's about building the foundation for a new, decentralized financial system that doesn't depend completely on trust-only code. That leads us to our conclusion. Bitcoin is scarce, decentralized, borderless, and deflationary. Bitcoin is the digital gold of our generation, but more than that, it's the first currency in history that truly belongs to the people. Now the question is, do you believe Bitcoin could really become the world's next reserve currency, or do you think the governments will find a way to fight back? And do you think Bitcoin is better than gold? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure if you enjoyed this video to hit the subscribe button to stay tuned for my next video. Peace.